you find something else. I just want to fix my friends.
We can't change the past, but we can change the future.
I'm gonna need a heat-resistant workshop and a big-ass sunroof.
So the review people have all been waiting for. Matter of fact, the movie with the most controversy of the whole fucking year that people have been waiting to see is finally at its arrival here, people. And I'm here, yours truly, the phenomenal one, here to tell you about that. And I'm talking about that Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family that are in the wrong goddamn hands with Fox. But I don't blame Fox for this one. No. This is Josh Trank's fault right here. Fox is downright cool with this. The Fox got X-Men right. They can get anything right. But do I dislike the movie or do I hate the movie? Or do I like it? Well, stay tuned to find that out right about now. In about 3, 2, 1, let me tell you the story here. So we open up with little young Reed Richards here, played by, what's that boy's name? Miles Teller. And we see obviously a young Ben Grimm here, and they're for some reason these kids are 10 years old, and they're having a fucking talking on front of the class, talking about what they want to do with their lives when they get older. I'm like, you do that shit in kindergarten, preschool. You don't do that shit when you're 10 years old in the 5th grade. Got young Jamie Bell, and for some reason, he decides to kind of befriend Reed Richards in a way. You know, Ben Grimm, he got his own junkyard shop, and Reed is like basically trying to take I forgot what it was, a power surge, so he can set up his interdimensional time transporter here, because he pretty much can send things to other locations, so he seems to think. But then we later believe that is other dimensions, not just other places of the world. So they build it, and then about 7 years later pass, so they're about 17 at this point. And they're at a school fair, or not a school fair, what do they call those things? A science fair, yeah. Which, by the way, they're in fucking high school, and all the other kids there are little-ass kids. That blew my fucking mind. You got some 25-year-old looking men here with little kids standing here, and whatever, I digress. But, and you get this one dickhead teacher that tells him, so you made a plane disappear and come back. I'm not here for a magic show. I'm here for science, whatever. And first of all, I want to say, fuck that guy, first of all. He made a plane vanish and come back. Magic show, he created a fucking portal, you jackass. So, then he gets, Miles Teller gets approached by Kate Mara and, what's that boy's name? Reg Cathy, who plays Franklin Storm, and Kate Mara plays Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. They approach him and say, wow, you've created not only an interdimensional time transporter here, but you also found a way to bring it back. See, what we've been doing is we've created this years ago with a guy named Victor Von Doom, and we created this even longer ago before you were even born. Well, not even before you were born, but I think he says something younger than you or some shit like that. And he says, obviously he says he must be joking with this. He said, the only thing we never really figured out is how to bring it back. But then Kate Mara shows some bullshit here, she says, and she shows the dirt that comes back, because usually these items come back with dirt on it. She says, yeah, we have been studying this. This is what we brought back last time. Wait a minute. Rewind. Rewind right now. Rewind a little bit more. You just got done saying you need Reed Richards because he's learned how to bring items back. You just told him you don't know how to do that. How the fuck did you get this dirt then? Clearly you've brought in something back then. See, this is only 10 minutes of the fucking movie, and it's already, the science is already off. It's getting goddamn ignorant. So, Reed Richards gets a scholarship, because apparently the Baxter Building's been turned into a goddamn preppy nerd school. It's not an office or anything like that no more. It's not where the Fantastic Four build shit or anything like that. It became a prep school. And they pretty much built this. They go to, first they go to Victor Von Doom, even though we found out Victor Von Doom's got a record. He's been in jail. He set fire to Franklin Storm's lab before. I mean, he just doesn't take authority well or anything like that. They go to him, they say they can't build this without him. Him and Reed needs to work on this together. So they all end up working together, and they pretty much get it built. But only for the government to come in and see it works and says, you're not making this. I mean, you're not sending anyone unless we send our astronauts. We're sending our boys. You just created. So they're a little angry. They ended up getting drunk. And I forgot to bring up Michael B. Jordan comes in out of fucking nowhere. I'm sorry, it just felt forced as shit. He comes because his father got him out of the hospital for being in a car accident for racing and shit. And he said, "You're gonna come work for me now because you know how to build things, and we need your help building." I'm gonna tell you this shit right now. There is no good explanation why the four of these guys got together. It is terrible how they fucking crowbarred these four together. Oh, because he can build things. Oh, okay, so is he the master builder of it? Because you sure didn't show me that, because I saw Miles Teller building some shit too, so it looks like clearly you don't even need him. But I digress. So the boys, they get drunk and say, let's do this. Let's just sneak in, plant a flag, come back, bam. They're drunk already. Miles Teller saying, I'm not doing this without my good friend, Jamie Bell, Ben Grimm. And he agrees to go along with it. And go along with it he does. They actually go to another dimension, and Kate Mara notices it on her computer scan, which, by the way, one of her personality traits is Kate Mara, Invisible Woman here. She can't do anything science-related without headphones in her ear because music helps her work to a certain rhythm of the drum. Fucking stupid. Anyway, though, so they go to this in another dimension, and next thing you know it, they do. At least Victor Von Doom, for the most part, he does some of the things. I mean, he's just fascinated with this world, blown away that he's there. So much that he founds a power surge of some green acid-like looking goo that he decides to fucking stick his hand in, which this must be a white person thing, because I don't know not one Negro that would stick his hand in some radioactive looking shit like this. And next you know, it fries his ass. They try to escape, only for the goo to just suck Victor Von Doom back up, whatever. And apparently he absorbed all this goo, but he pretty much fell to his death when they were climbing back the mountain, and it looked like he died. They get back, and then next you know it, catastrophic events are happening. As they get back in their little portal, whatever, Ben Grimm can't close his door, so rocks are just colliding in there. This goo hit Michael B. Jordan, but it was on fire. It didn't hit him, so it just kept his ass on a permanent flame on. And Reed Richards, I don't know, he just got stretchy, I guess, or something. They didn't even show that reason. And then when Kate Mara's in the lab, she's trying to send them back by overriding the manual and stuff because they can't do it from their little space shuttles. And she gets blasted by the effect too, where it just turns her completely invisible. Fast forward, not even a couple of months later. So yeah, so next we got after this, they're in a government facilities out in the middle of nowhere. We don't know where this place is. They're all tied down. And Reed Richards wakes up. He sees his body stretched out. He somehow escapes by focusing to stretch his body back to normal. And we go by, and he sees Ben Grimm like coming out of this rock shell, and he's screaming and pleading, "Reed, help me, save me!" And Reed just leaves him and says, "I'm definitely gonna save you. I'll be back for you." And he leaves the facility, and he escapes. He's gone for about, I think they said 7 months. Yeah, it was about 7 months after that. And next you know, we see things like, Franklin, what the fuck, Storm, which, by the way, that's a badass last black name to have, too, Storm, but, Franklin Storm sees his kids, he's like, I don't want them to be military weapons, but apparently they're going to be that anyway. You see Johnny Storm, he's constantly on fire. Matter of fact, when he woke up, he even saw himself firing, where he started just screaming and looking at it or whatever. Kate Mara, she's just constantly invisible. She hasn't woken up yet and stuff. She's just invisible. They can't find her body and traces. 7 months later pass after Reed escapes. We see that they started to develop suits to help harness their powers. Ben Grimm's become kind of a government weapon because they pretty much told him, Reed left you. You do some things for us. We'll find a cure for you. We can make things work out. They try to make it look all ominous and shit like that, but it looked weak as fuck because it looked silly as fuck. Kate Mara, she kind of really enhances her powers, which, by the way, I see clearly that she's the strongest Fantastic Four member out of all of them. But you would never know that from the 4 fucking movies that's been made of this shit. And, okay, I had a problem with this now. I don't have a problem with Johnny Storm being black, but the way he harnessed his powers was through that ugly fucking suit he was wearing in this movie. And it was like a switch on his wrist where he can flame on and flame off, whatever. And the dialogue is okay. First of all, I'm getting off track. Synopsis here, still synopsis. So we get back to them doing their thing, and Johnny Storm's realizing he really wants to be in the military, want to be in the field, want to use his powers for something, because he's saying we got these for something, and his father's telling him you don't need to do that, something wrong could happen. And Michael B. Jordan, he's got daddy issues, and he's just like, I'm here because of you, I'm doing what you needed me to do, because I'm doing whatever the fuck he's saying. Okay, it's weak as shit. And then they locate Reed Richards, they find him after these 7 months, and they say, look, we need to rebuild this thing, we need to go back so we can figure out what created you so we can cure you guys. Thus going back, they bring, they didn't go back, but they build it again. They find Victor Von Doom. They bring him back, and Victor Von Doom's playing possum. He tells them, the reason why I knew you guys would come back is because the government here, he's always had a thing with government in this work, because he's a fucking computer hacker in this film. And he comes back pretty much to over-collapse their world with his new world or whatever, because clearly he figures that they're just going to destroy it anyway, so fuck it. They're not going to destroy my world. I'm going to be the overruler of it. And thus we get the Fantastic Four trying to stop them, and then there's the synopsis. Okay, dialogue. Dialogue is fucking terrible in this film. Ben Grimm's older brother tells him it's clobbering time, and out of fucking nowhere at the end of this film, he just decided to say, after 7 years and 7 months, he finally decides to say it's clobbering time, and it comes out of fucking nowhere, and it is the most ridiculous ass way he delivered it possible. I'm gonna break down every character one by one. It's gonna probably be a longer review than the next 3 I gotta do that you guys are gonna hear. But I'm really gonna break this down. Okay, first of all, the plot is stupid as shit. You don't get no stupider than this. This is dumb. This is, and I dare say this, that this movie, personally, I think is a little bit better than the last one. That Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer still takes the cake. That one was a little bit, that one was a lot more insulting. This film is insulting, don't get me wrong, but that one was just more insulting what they fucking did with Galactus and the Silver Surfer. That movie can go fuck itself down the drain. But this movie was damn near somewhat on par with the first one, if not defeating that one, though, and making it look worse. And Ben Grimm is fucking terrible in this. Jamie Bell, you are fucking terrible. Like, damn the looks. I don't give a damn Jamie Bell looks like Ben Grimm or not. He's the shortest guy out of all these groups, which is funny because Ben Grimm's this big muscular guy. Ben Grimm was a fighter pilot for the Army or whatever, who became pretty much a pilot specialist. And here, he's just some fucking dumbass, no-talking sidekick to Reed Richards. They give him no personality, he has no charisma, no character in this whole fucking film. He is terrible. Damn, now I'm talking about the Thing. Damn his looks. Because I'm going to say this right now. Actually, his looks didn't bother me that much. You know why? Because what bothered me is the fact that nigga has no goddamn dialogue in this whole fucking film. He has about 5 things to say. And one of them dumbass things he has to say is, it's fucking clobbering time. Clobber this dick in your mouth, you stupid fuck. Another thing that I want to point out here. Ben Grimm don't even belong in this fucking film. Because they just randomly called him when they were drunk to saying, I can't do this without you. This is probably why I'll say that the second one is still worse, is because I think that this movie did touch on those aspects of Reed Richards feeling that guilt of what he did to Ben Grimm and what he did to the rest of them and stuff like that. Because you can tell in this film, for the little moments that they have, he really did feel guilty for that, and he really wanted to save his friends from that. And that's what Fantastic Four was always about. I remember there was a special episode with Spider-Man they did one time in the cartoons where they were talking about Reed Richards always feels guilty. No matter what he does, he always felt guilty for turning Ben Grimm into the Thing. And they touched on aspects of that in here, which I thought was fantastic because they never fucking touched on that in the first 2 films. But it wasn't enough of what they did with it to go anywhere, because guess what? By the end of that fucking film, the shit gets dropped. It gets dropped. So therefore, it was some complete and utter bullshit. I do respect it for going that route, but it didn't even pull it off, so it's nothing to me. Johnny Storm, Mr. Black Guy himself, Mr. Michael B. Jordan, Mr. Creed. fuck you. You are boring. I hate to say this, Chris Evans, actually, you know, it's a Ryan Reynolds thing with Chris Evans, like Green Lantern. He wasn't casted wrong. His fucking dialogue is just fucking terrible. He is fucking terrible in this fucking film. His dialogue is terrible. His delivery of his dialogue, he has no personality whatsoever. He's not even the fucking Human Torch. He's fucking Cyborg from fucking Justice League War. He just got daddy issues. Who the fuck wants to see a Fantastic Four with daddy issues? Daddy issues. Why? Because you never got time for me anyway, or whatever, and stuff like that. Well, you know, him and Sue have no scenes together on screen. They have one or two, and you don't even know if they're brothers and sisters. Matter of fact, if anything, you think they fucked at one point, which they probably have because Kate Mara's fine as shit. So I don't see why not. You ain't related to her by blood, so fuck her. But it was atrocious to see these two on screen together because they had no chemistry as brother and sister. I damn near say Jessica Alba and Chris Evans had more chemistry than these two fuckers did. I don't think anyone in this movie had chemistry together. Oh, and another thing before I go on to the characters too. Fox, Josh Trank, Fantastic Four, any of these fucking films. Nobody wants to see the Fantastic Four when they were kids and met each other. Nobody gives a fuck about that. That is the dumbest fucking idea ever. And not only that, is that scene you see in the class where you're talking about I want to build a time part or whatever. What the fuck he said? Where fuck that little Reed Richards. That little kid is a bitch. Now, that scene went on longer than with that trailer. And then it went on longer. Them as little kids went on for about 20 fucking minutes. I don't give a fuck about when they were kids. I don't need you to show me that he built some interdimensional time portal or whatever the fuck it's called. The negative zone, basically, is what we're going to get into. Show that he built that as a kid to prove how smart he is. Just show me older, mature. You see, the problem with this movie, first of all, let me backtrack. Kate Mara, I think for the most part, she did okay. But she is terrible when it comes to interacting with everyone else. She has no chemistry with it. She's bland as shit. She almost looks like she's got a social disorder because every time someone talks to her, she kind of just puts her... She never gives them eye contact. She just looks down or whatever, kind of wings her eyes up a little bit, puts her headphones back in her head, going about it. When she kept putting her headphones in her ear, it summed it up for me perfectly what this movie was about. And I've been saying this, one of the problems is, why the fuck are they children? They're kids in this movie, and that is the problem with this movie. None of them act like adults because, oh, guess what, they're teenagers, so of course not. Nobody wants to fucking see a teenager Fantastic Four film, okay? It's terrible because, you know what, you took everything about them and hipsterized their asses. I don't want to see fucking hipster Fantastic Four, because this is some straight up bullshit. Reed Richards, what I like about the movie is I like the fact that they try to build this around Reed Richards, because they actually try to play on how smart Reed Richards is. The problem with that is, there's no science involved in this film. Reed Richards is called Mr. Fantastic because in the comics or whatever, he was the smartest man in the Marvel Universe. I did not get 1 degree that he was smart in this fucking film in the first fucking place. Something he was already building on, they was already building on before he was even fucking alive. And that was that interdimensional, the negative zone, basically, and shit. He just apparently perfected it, if you will. But apparently they're full of shit because they said even though we didn't know how to bring things back, they brought this bottle of sand back. Where the fuck did that come from, Kate Mara? You ignorant cunt. Anyway, so Reed Richards here, his powers, his ability to stretch and stuff, the CG on that looked terrible. It looked terrible. I don't know if it's just because he's out the costume, because when he was in the costume I didn't mind it that much. But when he was stretching outside by, it looked damn near fake as shit. It looked like that old ass Stretch Armstrong doll that you used to play with, and you would attach it to a door and run that bitch down the stairway and tie it to the pole and see how far it could go. That's how bad it looked. It looked terrible. 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 That boy was casted terribly wrong. I'm sorry. Miles Teller is a great actor. I think he is. I think he has some of the beats down, if you will. But the material he was given to work with just wasn't amping up. And after he escapes, he seems to enhance his powers and knows how to use them in combat skills where he's beating up military soldiers. Where the fuck did you learn how to beat up military skills? I mean, military soldiers and stuff like that. Now, people are probably wondering, P1, what do you mean the thing didn't look that bad? Why did you give that a pass? Oh, you talking shit about how the thing looked like shit. I don't know if it's just because it's one of those things that he looked okay, better on screen in movement on the movie than he did in the trailer. Because you barely can see a goddamn thing because the fucking thing is so dark around his ass. When you do see him, you just don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't give a fuck about him at all. I didn't feel nothing for him at all in this film. Because why? He doesn't say shit. He's fucking Bumblebee from Transformers, pretty much. He's fucking Reed Richards' pet scientist. Pet robotic science experiment or some shit like that. Basically, why I don't give him as much shit is maybe because I was distracted on how fucking terrible Dr. Doom looked. Jesus Christ. You fucked that all up, Josh Trank. You fucked that completely up. I ain't never seen, like damn the Thing. When you got Dr. Doom looking like some transvestite silver metal freak or something like that just came off the set of goddamn 300 or something like, it looks terrible. He looked like some bitch in drag that I picked up somewhere in Vegas probably. He did look familiar. He had this bald head. He came out with this bald silver head and this green spawn shit coming out of him or whatever. He looked like a goddamn demon from Demon Night, Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Hell's Night, whatever the fuck that shit was called. He looked like the goddamn Crypt Keeper. Looked terrible. And oh my god, and the actor, they got to play him. Oh, the actor of all actors. Oh god. What the fuck was his name? Toby Kebbell, Mr. Hacker himself. Yeah, I see where the hacking skills came from. They find this brother in a dark warehouse with the lights shut off, and he's playing video games, and this is what I'm talking about, why they made him kids or whatever shit. They turned him into fucking hipsters, basically. He's playing fucking video games, and he's got this dark brooding. He's just like, I won't work for you, man. Oh, wait a minute, it's Sue Storm. Because apparently he's got some connection with Sue Storm. Could have been different for me and you, Stu. I had a dream for us. But now you gotta die. And it is so forced in there, whatever. She has no inflection from him, and I respect Sue. I love her. Even though they have no scenes together on camera. They have one scene where he just says, hey, Sue. That's it. There's no fucking chemistry between the two whatsoever. You don't even know if he likes her or not, because that's what it's basically coming up to, and it's just like, I feel nothing for you two whatsoever. He is absolutely one of the worst fucking villains I have ever fucking seen. As far as looks go, and as far as the actor go, you might as well cast it the fucking cast of Twilight to be in this guy. You know what? Fuck it. This is the cast of Divergent, if you will. Because Toby Kebbell was shit in this fucking film. Dog shit. It was an embarrassing performance. I was embarrassed for this whole fucking movie. I was embarrassed for Fox. I wasn't embarrassed for Josh Trank because I don't like that motherfucker. I was embarrassed for the Fantastic Four series. I took my fucking comics, I stuck it in the dirtiest shoebox I could find, and I chugged that shit across the alleyway over here, hoping some dog finds it and takes a big shit on it. And then pisses the shit on it to make the shit spread through the alleyway so everyone can smell what a piece of shit that is. Basically, I threw it in the alleyway hoping it looked like Tommy. Ugly as fuck. But anyway, I digress. Doom was terrible. I could not get over the look of his face and everything, whatever. Maybe that's why the Thing didn't bother me that much, is because the Thing looked nothing compared to what Dr. Doom looks like. And then Dr. Doom, when he goes back to this, the negative zone, goddammit, I hate saying that. He goes back to the negative zone. This motherfucker has the audacity to wrap this little green thing around and put a hoodie on. That was not a breakout between GarageBand. That was me pausing, staring at another computer screen, looking at myself going, fuck you, Fox. Fuck you, Josh Trank. And fuck you, Toby Kebbell. Fuck you guys to the goddamn grave. They don't even know what his powers are in this fucking film. They're so over the fucking place. He's one minute, he's blowing people's head up and things, and then you know he can control movement like he's Magneto or some shit like that. They don't know a damn thing about the source material. You know what the problem of this movie is? And it goes back what Josh Trank said. Nobody in here read a Fantastic Four book. They never read any source materials or anything like that. But guess what? He said it's going to be like Chronicle 2. It felt like fucking Chronicle. There's a reason why they went to space to find it was a freak accident in space. This shit, they deserved what happened to him, number one. And number two, the way it happens, it felt like just the way the kids in Chronicle found their powers. What a fucking coincidence that is, Josh Trank. You dumb motherfucker, you. You are terrible. I don't want you on Star Wars. I'm glad you got fired because you are a terrible director. And you need your dick cut off. from making this stupid shit. We've had people from Matthew Vaughn and Bryan Singer have to come in here and tighten or finish something up because Josh Trank gave such a fucking hard time to it. And I believe it too, because you can see pieces where a little bit of Matthew Vaughn might have came in or a little bit of Bryan Singer came in. Because those two guys are called veterans that know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, by the way, I'm going. Frank Storm dies in here, which is their father. They don't give a fuck about him. They don't give two shits about him when he died. They don't. It's like he's an important character in this fucking film, and they just look at him when he dies and goes like, "Oh, Dad, don't die," whatever. Then after that, they don't give him a grave or nothing like that. There's no ceremony to fit. They don't do anything. They're happy and shit as fuck. That is not. I'm just saying, it was dog shit. It was complete dog shit. So. How they handled that guy. And that guy sucked anyway. I ain't gonna lie. I hated his fucking voice. He was sucking whatever the fun of it. That was one of the main problems or whatever. He was boring. Just like the rest of this fucking movie. They're boring. It doesn't even become a superhero film, not to the last 10 goddamn minutes. And you don't give a shit anymore. Which, by the way, the plan that they had was stuck and stupid. It was stupid as hell. And I'm talking like, you know it's bad? When they took elements of Tim Story's Fantastic Four film and stuck it in here. It was embarrassing. They actually almost recreated the same fight that they had with Doctor Doom from the first Fantastic Four. Fuck you, Josh Trank. You made me relive elements of that film. And then it just ends with them getting their own lab and shit like that, which, by the way, I don't understand how that happened. The government seems to be running their lives halfway through the film, then all of a sudden the government backing down saying, oh, yeah, you know, we're not going to fuck with you now. You get your own lab and stuff like that. Yeah, you know what? This movie is a high fuck it. It's a high triple fuck it. I hated every aspect of this fucking film. It's only one thing I liked, and that was the aspect that they gave Reed Richards feeling guilty for what he did for Ben Grimm here, but they go absolutely nowhere with it. I thought it was dog shit with the rest of this movie. It has got to be it is up there with things like Man of Steel and both Amazing Spider-Mans for me. I think it was the most boring fucking superhero film I've ever fucking seen because they never once get a chance. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, at least Johnny Storm was cool. Whatever you saw in the trailer with Johnny Storm is basically all you fucking get. The fact that he controls his flame on, flame off thing with a fucking thing on his wrist pisses me the shit off. Fuck this film, man. Fuck it down the grave, dude. And personally, I give hope that since Josh Trank is gone, I know Fox gonna get rid of his ass, that there's hope that they can fix this Fantastic Four film. But you know what? I'm on the fence now. I don't want to see no more fucking Fantastic Four films. This can't be just getting worse and worse by far. They talking about they want to bring Silver Surfer and shit like that. Just because I don't know if people know, but Fantastic Four with Fox has the same contract that Sony has with Marvel. If they don't make a film, I think in about 6 years or something like that or whatever, then they have to revert the rights back and shit like that. I think it's every 6 or 8 years or something like that. They have to revert the rights back. Thing with Fox too, to people talking about, oh, why they make it so dark and stuff like that? They can't sell toys that way. Fox can't sell Fantastic Four toys because Marvel still owns the rights to the toys and comics and all that shit. The only thing that Fox owns them is the movie rights. The only thing they can do is market the movies, which is for fucking Denny's. Who the fuck would eat at Denny's anyway? It's the nastiest fucking place you can eat at. Yeah, fuck you Denny's too for promoting this shit. Fuck you Fox. Fuck you Josh Trank. And fuck this whole goddamn cast. You are a piece of shit and you deserve to be scraped on the bottom of my goddamn boot that I'm wearing now. Fuck you.
They are dangerous and powerful, which makes them extremely valuable to the government.
You promised me you wouldn't use my kids as weapons.
You think you've had power?
And it do you? You don't know anything about what's coming.
What is coming?
Doom.
This is our chance to make a difference.
We're family.
If we do this, we do it our way.
What if we say no?
Say yes.
This is the end of your world and the beginning of mine.
He's stronger than any of us. He's not stronger than all of us.